Brandon here, and time for more SexxxPerTease. Today's question is, how do you encourage someone that's dealing with body image issues that you're dating? It's definitely extremely difficult dating someone that has low self-esteem or any sort of body dysmorphia, since that's a serious mental issue. Like, no matter how much you tell someone you're beautiful, you're sexy, I love you, I'm attracted to you, they're never gonna believe it because they have an issue with themselves. They don't think that they're worthy of love. They don't think they're worthy of being sexy. They don't think they're worthy of being attractive because they don't see it in themselves. And that is something that it's a lot to take on if you are dating someone. And honestly, I don't think it's even possible to do that by yourself. Like, you can give someone as many compliments as possible. You can tell them you love them. You can try to show them they're beautiful, but until they actually realize it themselves, they're not really ever going to see it. So no matter what you say or even attempt to do, they're not really gonna believe it. And it's a sad reality, and it goes both ways. Like, whether someone thinks they're too big and they're actually small, or they think they're too small and they're actually big, like, it just, oh wait, no. I don't know if that was right, but whatever. You get what I mean? It just gets really difficult dating someone that doesn't see the beauty within themselves. And I don't want to say it's impossible to try to help them or try to get them to see the light, since of course if you love them, you care about them, you want them to see what you see, you want them to see that they're attractive, you want them to see that you think they're gorgeous and sexy and beautiful, and you really want to be with them. But the reality is they're never really going to see it until they get professional help. So I definitely think you should help them by trying to get them professional help, finding maybe support groups or body image conscious groups like they do on This Is Us, where they have like eating disorders or like body issues, like support groups. Maybe find something like that where they can find other people that are like them, so that maybe they can actually see they aren't alone and that this isn't something they have to take on themselves, because it's definitely like a struggle for them internally dealing with this issue on their own, because they don't have the grasp on like the reality of what they truly look like, because they think they're hideous or ugly or their body's not good enough. So it is really difficult dating someone that is obsessed with their appearance to the point where they don't think they're worthy of love. And that is a lot to take on. Even as a partner, that's going to be extremely draining for you. It's going to be extremely difficult. So hopefully maybe have an intervention possibly with their friends or family, sit them down, try to show them. But even I feel like that aspect usually doesn't work, because the person has to really realize it on their own. And even if you have like an intervention, they're gonna probably think like everyone's attacking them, and it's not like a positive moment, because they feel attacked. So they're gonna be defensive and still think like, I don't care what any of you think, I think what I think. So even having an intervention is not a foolproof guarantee that they're actually going to be receptive to whatever you have to say. So it's a really hard situation to be in, and it's extremely difficult, especially when you do love someone so much and they just don't see it. But I definitely think try to give them compliments as much as possible. Try to tell them that's why you're in love with them. And even just say, like, if I didn't think you were beautiful, why do you think I'm here? Like, why do you think I'm in this relationship with you if I thought you were ugly and not attractive or not good enough for me? And definitely make sure to avoid anything that could be triggering for them, like commenting on their body or their appearance or their weight. Because people that even grew up chubby, like I used to grow up chubby, so I'm definitely sensitive about my body. No matter how much I've changed or love my appearance now, it's like you still always have that insecurity as a child that you were once picked on and bullied and considered unattractive because of your appearance. So there's definitely a lot to hold on to and carry with you throughout life. And it honestly never really goes away. You just kind of get over it, but there are still things that can trigger you and put you back in that moment. It can make you defensive and make you insecure, because you know what it's like to be on the other side of just not being considered attractive and being tormented because of your appearance. So definitely avoid triggers. Encourage them by being compliments, maybe have an intervention, look for a support group, try to help them any way you can. But honestly, sadly, it may be something that will become too much for you to handle, because they, just like RuPaul says, if you don't love yourself, how are you going to love somebody else? So if somebody doesn't love themselves, it's going to be really hard for them to be in a relationship where they can actually be a present member of the relationship and build a future with someone that is so obsessed with themselves and changing themselves to the point where it can actually end up killing them and destroying themselves. So it might be the demise of your relationship, which is a sad reality to face, but try to help them as much as you possibly can, but don't lose yourself or even sacrifice your own sanity trying to help someone else that just isn't ready to be helped. So thanks for joining me for this episode of SexxxPerTease.